Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Build Life from Oak Hill Works. How are we all doing? I hope you are well. It's the first live stream of the year. We are back from our Christmas break. How are we all doing? Feels a bit weird saying it. Wow, those are jumping into the red really easily. Let's Is that a bit better? Doesn't look as bad on my screen. Yes, so it feels a bit weird saying it this late into January, but how was your Christmas and New Year? Did you get any railway stuff? Or any other good stuff? Do tell. Laptop speakers are ruined, thanks. Excellent, glad to hear it. That's what I wanted. That is exactly what I was aiming for. So yeah, well, we are back. We have two kits in front of us. Very neatly laid out. I put some effort into presentation for once. Aren't you all impressed? I even bought out the cutting mat early so that the white Loco didn't disappear on the white workbench. So what do we have, you ask? We have a Burrows 040 and we have a Peckett X-Class. Quarry hunts that arrived from Dundas models, nameplates with my late grandfather's name on, have been ordered. All fantastic. That sounds good. I got the Railway Roundabout DVD collection from my brother for Christmas. Fantastic. Quiet holiday season here and no good stuff. Don't worry, I had a quiet one with no railway stuff as well. Just things I could, you know, get off the printer and buy myself. I did, for those that aren't on my Discord, possibly Twitter, finally complete my terrier collection though. And good evening, Gary. How are you? I hope you are well. I have reminded myself I need to update that command. So no pressing the button until it's done. That's better. You can do the terrier command now. No rail stuff to get a few new tools, some Warhammer bits, and a couple new Transformers for the collection. Fantastic. Tell us more about the terriers. I have 50, and that seems perfectly reasonable to me. If you include my O-gauge one, I have 51. It still seems fine. I don't see why that is any. I don't see why there is any problem with that. I treated myself to some coach kits and then traded them into train times. Indeed, you did. And someone really clever sat them directly opposite the counter, so I have to sit looking at them all day and being tempted by them. Why is piano wire so hard to cut? Trying to use it for a Loco still in the bars and it's really a pain to cut it. It is not an easy thing to cut piano wire at all. It is reinforced because of what it does. It needs to be very strong. Maybe I don't want to do the command now. I refuse to do the command now. There we go. Richard will do it. And now the bottle. There we go. 50 terriers. Oh, yes. Time for me to start repainting and naming and numbering and all that jazz. Detailing. Captain Bat's kit will be fascinating. Tempted by that kit myself, so will be interested in the result. That is not Baxter. I have done a Captain Baxter. It's currently in the other room. There was 2 or 3 live streams covering Captain Baxter. What we have here is a Boros 040 and a Peckett X class, which will shortly, as in drop a message now, be available from me for £35 each. Links to my socials and stuff should be down there. There's exclamation mark Twitter in the chat to get a link. Or you can go exclamation mark shill, get a link to my shop, and go through there. What chassis? So the Boros 040 goes on the Hornby, Lancashire and Yorkshire Pug chassis. The X-Class Peckett goes on the Hatton's P-Class chassis with some modification. See, if I put this on here, it sits a bit like that at the moment. However, if I put this on here, it sits quite nicely. In fact, look, for all intents and purposes, I can just clip that back down properly rather than lopsided, how I had there. No, I must have got a cable caught somewhere. Good start, this. You love to see it. Oh, of course, it's because I've got the screw poking out the top. That's what it is. So we don't have the screw poking out the top, and we don't drop it. For all intents and purposes, there's a Loco. So look forward to the results. Good luck. Thank you very much. So say, if you want to see Baxter, go back a few live streams. I can't remember how long that was we did it now, but we did build Baxter from one of Matt Wickham's kits, also for the Pug chassis. Well, that was quick work. It was, wasn't it? Slightly quicker than this one's going to be. There's obviously actually still stuff to do on this. You know, it has handrails to add and all that, you know, all the detaily bits. But luckily, over Christmas, I've actually sorted myself out. And up here I have a nice unit with everything labelled. So if I want some handrails, there's some long handrails. And medium and short and couplings and all sorts. So there won't be quite so much looking around for stuff anymore. But that being that quick to throw together means we're actually going to start with this one, because we do need to make adjustments to the chassis. That is all there. For starters, this whole circuit board here is going to have to go. So we're going to turn the soldering iron on, we're going to unsolder that. This bit needs to go, but that's okay, I've already unscrewed it. because that seemed like the sensible thing to do. Hello, Upwell and onwards. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. And there we are. The soldering iron is up to temperature now. That was quick, wasn't it? Doing okay, and annoyingly back at work. That is a shame. No one wants to be there. So there we now have the motor and pickup separated from the chip. The motor can come off. I'm going to drop the wheels out as well so that we can cut down these bits sticking out the side because they still get in the way. That would be a rather high locomotive at this point. Hello from a possibly soon to be snowy UK. Indeed, yes, it is soon to be snowy, isn't it, Sophia? Supposedly. We shall see. I'd meant to send you a PM going. I found some merchandise online branded for your establishment's old name from Hornby. Yes, it's wonderful, that wagon, isn't it? I have one myself. The shop has a few. And we do still use that name. If I pull this down. And I get myself some of this. You can see that that is still the legal name of the company. And now you all know I own it. There's my share certificate. Just to catch up, what's the chassis from? So, this one we're looking at here is a Peckett X-Class, and the chassis is not cheap. It's the Hatton's P-Class chassis. So, yeah, not a cheap chassis at all, but Peckett X-Class, everyone. Oh, see, that's my old certificate, Sophia, with the wrong company number on it. I've not got the new one up yet. And then we've also got, the other one is the Burrows tank, which goes on the Hornby, Lancashire and Yorkshire Pug chassis. That easily. So both Loco kits available. Drop me an email. Come up cheap every now and then. Hatton's had them for £64 not long ago. Thank you, Tom. And good evening. I hope you are well. Good to see you here. Tom here designed these kits, so, you know, praise be to Tom. So there we take the motor out. So we're going to drop the wheel set out as well because I want to get everything out the way of the saw blade. Oh yeah, it sticks down like that, doesn't it? I should remember that because it wasn't stuck down when it got to me. Love to fit 5-pole on an LMYR pug. I'd love for there to be an updated LMY pug that didn't have a cab full of motor. That's what I'd love. Well, this brake gear appears to have been repaired at some point. There was a big blob of super glue on one of those bits. The rest of them are coming off like that, will you? No. Typical. All bar one. Still, that's fine. I can get the wheels out now. Fun enough, the odd Airfix models that so badly need retooling are in the 2023 range. Oh, I know, right? What I notice isn't in the 2023 range is a Terrier. And after all the fuss Hornby kicked up that the Terrier is their model and a staple of their range, you'd think they'd be making more of them. Oh, you will come off that way. Okay then. Damn chassis. So yeah, what we're going to do is remove the overhangs on each side. So that this actually sits down on it. I mean, they probably don't need to come all the way off, but they will be. Quite simply. I might pop the pickups out as well so I don't damage the wires. Because I know what I'm like. But yeah, so I've got one of the kit built pugs that are they still made? I assume by Depot if they are. And I've got an XO4 fitted to it inside the tank. So it's got plenty of space in the cab. So, you know, Hornby, it can be done. Get on with it. And I haven't said this year yet. Hydration is important, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Depot do still make the kits. Why? They can be modular. In fact, I've used the original chassis and the original wheels and everything. Plastic valve gear, plastic wheels with metal tyres pushed around them, plastic chassis, whacking great XO4 motor and a DCC chip. It's brilliant. And now comes the loud, irritating part. Tom, why could you not make this in such a way that it fits? Don't blame those Loco designers for it not fitting. Wow. Times like this, I wish it wasn't A, late at night, B, I knew where my Dremel was. And C, I'd have fitted the right saw blade on here because that one's blunt. Peckett's fault for not making it a side tank. See, I knew you'd blame Peckett. We could be here for a while. No, because I'm going to do a bit and then move on to stuff, to other bits, and then do a bit more. Be fine. There is a plan. I used the big hacksaw, so yeah. See, Tom feels my pain. I wish there was one I made earlier, but I don't have P-class chassis lying around to do this to for no reason. Unfortunately, all my other P-class chassis are currently busy being underneath P-classes. And all this is the second reason I wanted to take everything off. Because look at how much there is there. Maybe I should have done something for the Terrier chassis. I hear you've got a few of those spare. Well, I mean, honestly, it would be nice to replace my old tooling Terriers with new tooling ones. So if you start designing things for the old tooling chassis, I do genuinely have one of those spare as well already. Oh, it's not quite thin enough to snap. That's a shame. I appreciate the sandbox moving itself out the way. I don't know, you want a safety command when I do stuff like this? What we want is for this to be thin enough metal that I can just do that and it snaps. Like that. Why? Wasn't that easier? Precisely. Or, as I like to put it, I make these mistakes so you don't have to. Where's my brush gone? I had that earlier because I tied it up. Damn tidying up. There we are. Sophia said we'd be here for a while 5 minutes ago. And that whole side is off. That side actually snaps really nicely along where it's supposed to be cut. That's handy. Don't think this side will do the same though. And if I get through these top bits, this part of this side might. There goes the sandbox. And good evening, Rob. How are you? I hope you are well. You join us as I maul a P-Class chassis. Bend it to my will. And then snap it to my will. So there goes Sophia. We got through that quickly, didn't we? Going back to the pug, I was a little disappointed Hornby hadn't retooled the pug. I have a feeling that someone else will take it on soon. Think of all the liveries they could release. I would love to see someone else do it and do it really well. I think there would be a market for it. The fact Hornby have been able to keep it and still be releasing it now shows there must be a market out there for it still. So yeah, I'd love to see someone else take it on. Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Had better kick off to the new year. How are you doing, sir? I am okay, thank you. Had better kick-offs to the new year doesn't sound great though. I hope everything is okay. I would just be really pleased to see more small tank engines on the market. Well, yeah. I'll tell you what, Red, if you buy yourself a P-Class and a Hornby Lancashire and Yorkshire pug, I'll sell you a Burrows tank and a X-Class body to go on top of them. And then you'll have more small tank engines. See? Genius. You've just got to think outside the box. Now I wonder if cutting down there, I can do the same and snap this bit off. Yes, is the answer. And that is how you do that. So the one time I'd planned for this is going to take a while, we need stuff to do, and I'll take breaks from it. it goes really well and really quickly. Blooming typical, that. All good, thanks for asking. Just got made redundant on the 3rd of Jan, but that's the video games industry for you. But it's all good now. Starting a new gig tomorrow, all being well. Well, sorry to hear you got made redundant, but good to hear you're into something new so quickly. Also, video games, interesting. I did not know that was your thing. It's the industry my boy wants to get into. So I suppose now we can start rebuilding this chassis. I'd like to see the models, especially pre-existing ones, more affordable to newcomers. Oh, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? I take it that means you won't be buying one of Hornby's new £360 Flying Scotsmans. Thanks very how yeah, plus I've been in video games for 20 plus years now. Wow. I've heard various things from inside the video game industry. I hope it's not as bad as they say. Yeah, see, we'd all like to see things be more affordable. I assure you, there's nothing I want more than it to be more affordable and more people to be buying. Just saying. Could buy a £360 Flying Scotsman or another 2 Quarry Huntslets. You make a good point. Probably should have done the wheels and stuff first, but never mind. Where'd that spring go? There it is. More turnover, more good, more profit, more better. Exactly. The reason my shop focuses primarily on second-hand stock is because we can make it more affordable for people. Hornby might not want newcomers into the hobby, but I do. Second-hand stuff is what I subsist on for the most part, so good on you. Yeah, and a lot of people do. It is the only way for a lot of people. Generally, in my shop now, if you want something new, you have to order it specially. Yeah, that's meshing nicely. And now with everything back in, the Loco sits down on its chassis properly. Haven't even bought a brand new Loco yet. Yeah, I hear you've got some brand new purchases coming up, Sophia. Today's newcomers might be tomorrow's well-known actors visiting a local model shop. Exactly. It's great industry. It doesn't feel like doing real work, making games all day long. However, you have to get used to getting made redundant. This is the third time now. Oh wow, that's yeah, that's a pain. But I can see where the benefits are in that because running a model shop doesn't feel like real work. But you have to get used to Hornby screwing you over. So, but yes, indeed, new well-known actors visiting shops in Eastbourne. That was a good day. Not to mention, the best thing about secondhand is that you never totally know exactly what you're going to find. Might be a beautifully detailed RTR, might be a bizarre freelance. Yes. We get a bit of both in the shop. Talking secondhand, I strongly approve of recent purchase Butler Henderson. Wonder where that came from. Yes, I wonder where that came from. What did I miss? Which actor visited the shop, or can you not divulge? Yes, Mark Williams visited the shop. And no one said suits you, sir. We allowed him to walk around and browse and generally treated him like a human being, which I'm sure must be nice when you're as well known as him. At least I hope it is. Because otherwise we make complete tits of ourselves. There's no difference between the front and middle, is there? No, they are all the same part. That's okay. I think most actors are quite good with in Joe Public as long as they don't get swamped. Yeah, I believe they are. It comes with the role, but I'm sure. Yeah, there's a difference between being good with, oh my god, your ex, and just being allowed to enjoy some time to browse and look at things like a normal person. And there we are. That's that side. Brake rigging refitted. And that's that side refitted. Now what I am going to do is tiny blobs of super glue on them, just to keep them held there, since they've been off and on and stuff. And good evening, Jamie. How are you? I hope you are well. You join us having just destroyed a P-Class chassis. It's a new tin, it needs it top popping, doesn't it? So just a spot of super glue. There's quite a lot of it on this lid now. Not quite enough as it appears. Very well, thanks. Started watching Andor today, Star Wars TV show. Very nice, relatively gritty, which makes a nice change from haha Force Go Brr. I'll take your word on that. And some of us are unfamiliar with these Wars of the Stars. I've heard of Star Trek. Is it to do with that? Who'd have known all this time as a railway modeller? And it would be a comment about Star Wars that would get me cancelled. There we go. Andor is awesome, says Rob. General question, but has anyone dealt with hobby burnout? If so, how did you get around it? I have so many projects and ideas I want to make happen, but I've been struggling to find motivation lately. So weirdly enough, for someone who does this every week, all the time, honestly, I tend to find forcing myself to do stuff by making it a YouTube live stream helps me do stuff. But occasionally, I'd say take the entire month of August off. It happens. Motivation will return when it's time. Perhaps watching someone else will help that time come. I've put that motor back in upside down. I've just realised. Should be the red wire on this side. I'm more familiar with the Wars of the Time variety. Did join lockdown, I did something completely different. I got into Hex and Counter War games, bought World in Flame, which is allegedly biggest war game you can buy. But yeah, it happens. Sometimes I don't feel it at all, and I spend time just playing computer games. Come on, you were in there a minute ago. Why won't you go in now? This is what the super glue is supposed to prevent. That does not want to go in. Hopefully, if we hold it there a minute with some glue, it'll stay. Absolutely, I've had hobby burnout. My 009 layout hasn't progressed for months, but when I'm motivated, I do a little bit. Yeah, see, motivation comes and goes. Having a full-size train day is really good fun. Can help me get a bit more motivation for the modelling. I mean, that seems like a good way of doing it. Watching Oak Hill Model Railways live streams has got me back into modelling. Whoa-hey! That's the sort of thing I like to hear. My live streams having an actual effect on people. That is really cool. And kind of why I do it. So when people tell me they've learnt something from my live streams, it makes my day. I think joining the Model Railway Club has helped me sustain the interest in the hobby. Otherwise, I waver a lot. Yeah, that does it. Ironically, I go to my Model Railway Club to get away from modelling, since it's now the day job. Why else would I be cutting out windows on a Satsby Farmer card signal box? Ha, fair. I've got a ratio kit for a Saxby and Farmer signal box in the other room that will never get built now because I bought it for Oak Hill 2. However, it emerges that I managed to get a better signal box. Possibly a Hornby one, maybe a Bachmann one. Probably a Bachmann one. It's Withiam, which is the one that's now at Sheffield Park attached to the museum. So I've got a ratio Saxby and Farmer signal box that will never get built. Stick it on the HON30. I don't think it will fit in, and I have a lot of buildings for the HON30 already. Hydration is important, everyone. My motivation is like the Suez Canal. Things happen easily, but then a big old boat blocks the path. It take ages to get free. Brilliant. So there we are. All of a sudden, we have 2 Locos. Just like that. Darn. Looks like we're going to need some more of that glue. Wow, that body is starting to warp already. Interesting. Definitely couldn't have predicted needing more glue. Problem I found I had was a mental one. I was too concerned with everything having to be right that I never actually did anything. I used to have that problem, and a lot of the stuff I did bugged me. I've got over it now. Which is good with the standard of my modelling. I know some people have a different opinion, but I don't think I'm all that good. I realise there's 11 people here watching me do it, provided that my thing is correct today. I know it doesn't always update. Very much liking the look of these two, but then again, I do like little engines. Well, they are great, aren't they? And this one, the Metropolitan Railway had some of these for shunting. 2 of them, I believe. So I'm thinking, ultimately, this one will end up in sort of a maroony colour with yellow lining. And if you really like them, Thomas, I'm happy to sell you the kits. Need to source your own chassis. L100 and L101 IRC fully lined out, including wheel spokes. I believe you're correct. Yes, I know 101 was one of them. I think 100 was the other one. I, unlike the Metropolitan, and for that matter Hatton's, will not be lining out the wheel spokes. And there we are, it looks even more Loco-y. A few more drops of glue. We can get the final detail parts on. This one warped a bit on the print, but if you don't tell, I won't. I don't sell ones that warp like that, I reprint them, but if it's for me, I don't bother reprinting. Because, you know, all that's going to happen with failed print parts is they'll go in my spares box. Modelling the Underground's back burner project for me currently. It is interesting that, for example, a 1923 standard stock train can legitimately run with anything from pre-grouping to NSE. It is certainly very interesting. Shame about the NSE though, no one wants that. No one likes NSE. And the people that say they like it are liars. They're all part of a conspiracy. And there we go. It is the first live stream of the year. We are an hour in, and we've built 2 locos. How's that? That feels like a good first hour of the year to me. By which I mean I wasn't planning on it going this quickly. Obviously, we've still got the handrails and such forth to add. Tend to paint the detail bits separately, makes it easier when using rattle cans. Yes, I can see that making it easier. I like to add bits so I can cover them in filler. Slowly getting around to modelling London Transport. First emu will be W&C stock in Southern Malachite because pretty. That's the first time I've heard that word used to describe malachite, honestly. There we go. Oh, look, there's a link to my website rather than the shop's website. I can move stuff now. There we are. Look, aren't they pretty? The first 2 Loco kits that will be available. I'm hoping to get a website you can order from up by the end of the month. I'm not going to guarantee it. So again, you want these or any of my wagons and stuff, I have recently put together some actual price lists. Drop me a message. RM Web is Blue Lightning, Twitter, Oak Hill Railway, Gary at oakhillmodelrailway.co.uk, through the Train Times Model Shop website. Even on Discord. Drop me a message. We'll get it sorted out. Currently engaged to another scale at the moment. Oh dear. Tom, did you hear that? Thomas is engaged to another scale at the moment. Are we going to sell your engage bits as well? Hydration is important, everyone. So yeah, next thing to do, handrails. As I say, I can just grab out of a drawer now. They're brilliant. In fact, I grabbed the whole drawer because I can. Now, where'd that wire go? Which one of you is it? Problem with using the bat signal is I don't always see it. It's you're the bit I can use. Okay, malachite is very pretty on certain things. W24 is very lovely and it suits the Brighton J's too. Take your word from that. Back from getting my stuff ready for work in the morning, that test fit is looking good. It's doing all right, isn't it? I'm very happy with how it looks. So what we do here for the handrails, for those that don't know, so we thread them onto our bit of wire where sometimes they thread on nice and easily, sometimes they don't. Sometimes we bend the bit of wire in the process. But doing that means we know what way the hole for the handrail is orientated and that it is where we want it. When we put them in. And of course, what we're also supposed to do is check that the holes are big enough. That one is. That one almost is. Luckily, I keep a drill bit the right size for doing this. Sat in a drill next to me. What are you thinking for livery on the Borrows? That's a very good question. It may well end up becoming standard South Park Quarry Blue. But I don't know. Luckily, I have this group of people I refer to as chat to help me decide these things. They're an odd bunch, but they're useful. I have annoyingly put rather a bend in that bit of wire. Lined goods black. I hear that's the best livery for E1s. Everyone should order an E1 in lined goods black. Unfortunately, I hear there's only one model shop you can order them from at the moment in that livery, and I can't think what they're called. SECR Coach Crimson. You know what? Whilst your locos look very nice in that, that feels like that's your livery, so perhaps it should be reserved for ones you make. While we're at it, your 20% discount applies to Train Times Model Shop, not to Oak Hill Works, just saying. There we are. First hand rails in. Oak Hill Works has bills to pay. For example, the CAD Artists Commission. Even all, hope you're well. Sorry for late arrival and prolonged absence. I want to health issues deal. Getting there now. I hope to rejoin the human race now. Good evening, Bob. It's good to hear from you. I had been worried, and it's good to see your name again. Sorry to hear you've had health issues to deal with. Glad to hear you're getting there and hope to rejoin the human race. If there's any other races you can join, though, they're probably better, if I'm being honest. So you join us as we work on some 3D printed locos, which you can buy from me if you so choose, as kits, obviously, not these exact ones, for a Boros 040 tank and a Peckett X class. Not that I think you'd have much use for either, but there we go. That does not want to go through that, well, over that bit of wire now. There we go. Darn thing. And there we are, 2 more of those on, so I can stick those to the boiler. Of course, I did that not checking the size thing again, didn't I? Thank you, I've had problems, but fingers crossed, all sorted. Great to see the master back at work. The master? You're cheating on me, Bob, seeing someone else? Car. Disgraceful. You're not going to convince me, Jamie. It's not happening. You know what looks better on the Brighton Jays? Umber. I still say you should paint the borrowed tank as Fred the Steam Fugitive. As what? You have me confused with someone who knows what you're talking about. That is looking a bit too big. Let's kits look adorable. Thank you, Paul, and how are you? Make sure you buy some. That's the answer. Yeah, they're not quite going over the break. It's an obscure short film from 1990 starring the Middleton Railways Wendell. Fair enough. Well, the good news there is, Red, you can paint your one as that. Isn't that good? And the worst bit about this now not clipping and me having to file this down, this thing's been sat in my display cabinet for months attached to that chassis. There we go. Much better. It's okay, I just like the dark blue and black livery. Well, so you can paint yours that colour. I promise I'll let you. All you need to do is place an order. I was thinking wine bottle green with cream lining. That's not a terrible suggestion, Paul. I'm just going to say that. You are the master, Gary. Why, thank you, Bob. I don't feel like it, but it's nice to hear. I mean, like King at the Ribble Steam Centre, Paul. Ah, is Paul ripping off other people's logos now, is he? Terrible. Terrible behaviour. There goes the file. I'm going to try gluing this one by dunking the end of that in the glue. And then do the same on the other side. I would normally bend up a handrail for the front and use that to position the handrail knobs on the front. However, this isn't actually the wire that I will be using for the handrails, so I won't be doing that at this point. But there we go, that is handrail knobs on the Boros tank. Something like that. I'm planning out the glassworks I want to build. Aha! So what you're saying, Paul, is that's the colours your one will go. Excellent. Good to know what liveries people are going to put their ones in. Get ordering. And I'll get printing. I am going to refill the hydration vessel first, though. As well as many other things. Yes, but Paul, you see, the thing is, if you order these from me, that puts more money in my pocket. Do you not see the advantage of that over anything else? Hydration is important, everyone. I think when I get my double O kit back, I'll go for custom MR LMS maroon based livery with whatever line I end up going. Or fair. Well, get that kickback and buy some then. Because that's what you need to do. In fact, you could buy them now ready for when that kick returns, and then you can get straight on with it with no delays. See, that's what you need to do. I do admit one would look very smart in KLR apple green. It would. So you know what you got to do then, don't you? Order it. I'm going to use one with a little less primer on it. I don't know what all these ones that are primered came off of. It's a bit weird that I'd have removed handrail knobs from something that was in primer. Shill. Oh no, these aren't from Train Times. These are from Oak Hill Works. Even more shilly than that, you see. But you can order them by contacting me through the website. Shield 2 Electric Boogaloo. You know what? I might make that just for you, Thomas. Because good reference. I approve. I do believe in time you'll see some exciting things come to Oak Hill Works. There's lots in the pipeline. Do have a lining transfer sheet for the Peckett if you want to do that. Might need to be done before adding handrails though. Yes, that would be good. That would be very interesting. Never mind for me. I'd be potentially interested in that for when we're selling them, possibly. Shouldn't the pipeline be clear though? You don't want a boiler to go boom, but But I take it what you're saying, Tom, is these don't add the handrail knobs now. Don't know if you've seen mine. The black one with double white lining. Colour changes would be easy. Yes, that rings a bell. That definitely rings a bell. I think perhaps we should look at getting potentially getting a few with different colours done up. I'll pay to get them printed and keep them in stock. Much easier to lay the transfers on while the tank is still flat-ish. Well, there we go. Thank you for stopping me when you did. So there were more, weren't there? And they came out a bag. So that is that for now. Sorry to pause the entertainment, folks. No, not at all, Tom. Everyone will be glad when it is better off as a result. I'm still impressed that it's as early as it is and we've built 2 Locos. I mean, we could splash some paint on them now. So this has been discussed previously, but has this kit been 3D printed by yourself, Gary? It has indeed. These are both kits I have printed off separate printers, in fact. This one came off the printer over there, and this one came off my shop's printer that's at the shop, obviously. They were both designed by Tom, TS Design there. He's very good at what he does. And are available to purchase as kits. The Peckett X-Class goes on the Hatton's P-Class chassis, and the Burrows tank goes on the Hornby Lancashire and Yorkshire Pug chassis. A bit of colour won't kill anyone. I quite agree. I'm just looking at my paint rack now. I genuinely hadn't intended to be doing paint colours now. The Pug is a pain to deconstruct. I mean, you've just got to take the motor off first. You should complain to Hornby about that. I'm not sure I've got anything suitable for the colour I want to put the packet in. And I don't know what colour I want to put the Borrows tank in. Ideas on a postcard. Dapol's fault is like that though. Or is it Hornby's fault for not retooling it? See? Hornby have owned it long enough now. In fact, they've owned it a lot longer than Dapol did. How exotic are we feeling with the paint scheme? I mean, not too exotic. It's an advertising piece. But not too boring. It's an advertising piece. Bit of both is a good answer there. Very diplomatic. What you're forgetting is, if you can blame Hornby, then blame Hornby. Hydration is important, everyone. The box says so. Yeah. No postcards have arrived with ideas for liveries for the Borrows tank yet, unfortunately. In a way, photographic grey is quite appropriate, but not exactly exciting, nor would probably make a good photo. I mean, you're not wrong. It would be quite appropriate. I've got a dozen or so Borrows tank bodies. I'm not short on bodies I could paint. Yellow, blue lining, and TT on the cab sides. That's not going to happen. You're thinking of the wrong company to advertise. Don't want to blame Hornby, but they've been. I don't want to blame Hornby, but they've not been making good decisions lately. Lately, as in the last decade or so. I still like the idea of a deep green for straw or cream lining. I mean, you're not wrong. Very impressive on both counts, thank you, Bob. So how long has it been since Hornby bought the ex-Airfix Pug Terrier J94, as I'm sure Dapol was still selling 14XX in early internet days? 1997 they bought it all. And I can prove that. Brunswick green for the Borrows. It's an early paint colour for an early Loco. That, yeah. I don't have Humbrol, but Brunswick green. Number 3. Look it up. Prove me wrong. So yeah, one of my recent purchases. This is the box for one of my recent purchases. Comes in quite a posh box, this one, for some reason. Comes with reasonably low number certificate as well. 1997. Hornby were offered to purchase tooling for a number of locomotives and rolling stock. It's all there. One of the new models, one of the new 1998 models, was the Terrier Freshwater. Quite interesting to realise that Hornby had not invested in new tooling from the mid-80s until 97 when they bought the Daypole range. Because, you know, in the mid-90s, Hornby were in financial trouble, apparently, because of a lack of innovation. Who'd have thought Hornby could get in a position where they'd be in financial troubles due to a lack of innovation? Not me. Plus lining of some kind. Well, obviously lining of some kind. Oh wow, then how come Daypole still had the 14XX tool and they would have thought they'd come along at the same time? They did come along at the same time. That's the answer to that. Oh, and I looked it up. Humbrol number 3, Brunswick Green. I was right. Before you ask, I'm not modelling this evening, but I found a new source of books and downloading some, mostly military history. Interesting. Very interesting. What greens do I have? You are a Humbrol tin, I take it? Yes. I remember them doing a Titfield 14XX in the early teens. It wasn't labelled as a Hornby thing at all. I remember Hornby doing a Titfield 14XX. That was a hint that it is that time. So it is. That time where I traditionally ask, what is everyone up to this evening? What modelling are you doing? What other things are you doing? As you sit and watch me. I found a green that might look quite nice. Humbrol super enamel, so you can tell it's nice and modern. Sat in bed watching this stream. I mean, I approve of that. Just cut the last window pane out of my Saxby Farmer signal box and torn the frame, but I don't care, carrying on. That is a pain that you've torn it on the last one, but hopefully, being card, you should be able to repair it reasonably easily. Look at that. I don't think this tin's really been used much. It looks basically full. Super enamel. That's about as retro as the chassis. I know, right? This will have been bought as an aircraft paint originally, given its age. So I tried to do some modelling today, but it wasn't happening. Well, you'll get there. I assure you, burnout is much worse when it's your job. I don't think the hole in the thing. Upgrading and painting my station. What, like the whole of Erridge station? Just painting the whole thing. That's quite impressive. I hope you're using a brush bigger than this to paint that. About time we got some upgrades though. I love how these old enamels are just work. And I rather like that colour. It's not far off what you're seeing on the screen actually. That's scarily accurate. What have you done to the colour balance, Streamlabs? Ooh, I like. Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, 14 minutes says I'm thinking of separate sale, limited edition tip field where the trains on film. Hornby pack came much later, but I do remember Hornby having 14XX at the time, the limited edition tip field Loco. So Daypol did release some of the old stock as limited editions after Hornby bought it. For example, there are Terriers out there that Daypol did after Hornby had bought the mouldings and Hornby had been releasing them. And they were all repainted from stock models by hand and done in SR Wartime Black. And it was the only time that livery had been done. There might even be one on the market now with someone you know. Who knows? I don't know. Definitely not. Little Station, I wonder whether it will would appreciate if I repaint Erridge back into LBSCR colours. Oh, go on. You know what they say? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission. Makes sense. Yeah, so it could well be that. I don't know. I would have to look into it more. Because I don't know with the 14XX. Put a brass dome on it. You're not wrong, are you, Tom? It needs a brass dome. Yeah, you're right. Imagine being able to own #1 of said limited edition. Hint, hint. I wonder who's got #1 of said limited edition, Sophia. For those who prefer their colours in a spray can, Ford Pine Green is similar to this. Interesting. So amazingly, this is a colour that still exists in the Humbrol range, which is quite impressive for Humbrol, having a colour in their range that long. To be fair, it was joined the hand-painted livery. If it was joined the hand-painted livery face, it was 14 sets. It's an easy thing if they had a bunch of black Great Western 14 sets lying around. Some of the Terriers they repainted were in improved engine green, so you know they wouldn't have minded. They missed huge bits of them as well, because of course they did. And anyway, Tom, some of us prefer our paints in this form of spray. We just need to sort out the duct. We just need to drill a hole in the wall for the vent duct. And then we can start doing that on live streams. Don't forget the wheels too. I won't, now that you've reminded me. The wheels drop out of these, don't they? If I could remember where I put my screwdriver. Underneath a load of loose drill bits, apparently. There we are. My tool for undoing these is at the shop. There we go. Now I can get at the wheels properly. Alright guys, I need to get some sleep, so I'm ready to go work tomorrow. I hope the rest of the stream goes well, and see you on the Discord tomorrow. Okay, good night, Red. Don't forget to order yourself a Loco before you go to sleep. Important thing to do. You can pick up the chassis another time, just grab the body. But, you know, otherwise, sleep well, don't work too hard, and all that jazz. It's so much easier when you've only got one wheel set in your hands. And there we are, some green wheels. I'd prefer if they weren't this style of wheels, but can't have it all, can you? And that is very, very dry. Let's get another coat on. And I am still very happy with this colour as it dries. Don't fancy doing a scale link swap then. Potentially at some point, it would be nice. But not right this second, because I don't think I've got any that size in. Actually, I might. No, they are much bigger than I thought. Darn. Yeah, no, all my wheels are more normal sizes. So too, I have to say good night. Also, sleep well. Sleep well, everyone, and we'll catch up with you all good folk soon. Hopefully stay safe and happy. And you, Bob, and here's to more recovery and you being able to return to the human race. Good night, sleep well, and I hope to speak to you soon. Don't know what the axles on these actually are. Don't know what the axles are on these actually. They might be from the funky era. They might be. I expect they're the same size as the old Tall Terrier. But I don't know what that is offhand. I've never swapped a pair. There we are. Drive gear is the same, but not sure about the axles. Now. I really like that colour on it. Green was a good suggestion. More Peckett indeed, Javier. Big Peckett. And also a Burrows tank. See, the good thing is, Tom, now that I'm not painting, we're in a workshop with equipment. There you are. They are 2mm axles. At least the front one is. I'd be very surprised if the rear one isn't. There we go. 2mm axles. Well, it's good having stuff around. That's drying reasonably quickly. Should have checked to see if these want another coat, actually, shouldn't I? I reckon they're all right. Might have to do a scheme on my remoted pug chassis. Well, hey. I'm off to folks. Thanks to the company. Modelling Magic's always go. Looking forward to seeing these lovely logos finished. Great stuff from Tom, as always. Night, folks. Good night, Rob. Thank you for coming. Great to have you here, as always. Sleep well. Don't work too hard. Actually, do work too hard at that new job. Really impress them. Just a good night off. And hydration is important. I love how quickly this is drying. I reckon I can get some black on there. Which is good because I've just been shaking up the black. I don't want to use this big brush. I want to use a little brush. So that I can get into the detaily bits. People sometimes ask me how I manage to get enamel paint to dry this quickly, that I can do this many layers. And this many colours. There's multiple secrets to it. The first one, the best example of, is when Linny was down. And Lenny walked in and went, Jesus Christ, I know exactly why you get them to dry so quickly now. That is warm. And it is always quite warm in the workshop. The other reason is I don't let them dry quite as much as I should. But don't tell anyone, that's a secret. But this is another one of those moments of do as I say, not as I do. You should let your paints dry and harden properly. Because you don't have an audience watching. Unless you do, in which case go ahead and be like this. Oh, did you not know, Thomas? Or did you know when you were trying to see what the command would say? Oh, right, that's the back of that I can see. Yes, that looks better. Now, Gary, knowing this information, I challenge you to acquire them all in N now. Nope. Now, I must get them all painted and detailed appropriately for each member of the class as I want to model them. Don't drop your Loco kits when you're building them either. Even after watching me doing it and seeing they survive, don't do it. No, I didn't know. Fair enough. The information's been on the Discord. I put a picture on the Discord of all of them together, Dry Hard and the follow-up Dry Hard with a Vengeance. Yes, exactly. Don't put your fingers on the bits you've just painted as well. Poor engine's not a helicopter. Well, you see, Thomas, because I'm selling them, I have to show that they're durable and can survive being thrown around. And yes, I know I'm missing a smoke box dart. You try getting a hold of one at the moment. They're sold out everywhere. This is going to look so much better in the display case now. I say it's been living there for months. Right at the front as well, where everyone can see it. Good thing I bought those smoke box darts when I did. Yeah. But weren't most of the ones sold out when you first tried and you had to wait and get them? Just been a search. There is indeed a very fine collection of woofers. Yeah, yeah, they're all there. Someone on Twitter asked me what the collective noun for a group of terriers was. I suggested a perfection. I think the proper answer is probably a pack, though. But perfection works for me. Especially if it applies to a group of 50 of them. A train of terriers. Would a London Transport Terrier be a subwoofer? Oh dear. Oh dear. But also, yes. Mainly, oh dear. Have you ever considered, Sophia, being ashamed of yourself? Because I think you should try it. Never. So you have joined the dark side of the pun army. I'll fetch you your compulsory punnet of strawberries. You realise she works for me and therefore has to pun. Literally a requirement of the job. There's punning and then dad punning. Dad punning is the dark side. Well, again, she works with me. That's what I wanted to happen. I wanted it to be upside down like that. And I wanted to drop the paint that way round. I mean, that wasn't really a paint spill. That was just dropping the lid the wrong way up, but sure. You can have that, I suppose. Oh, it's there. For a second there, I only had 3 crank pin nuts. Just put the signal box together, done the outer brick wrap, cut out windows, started cutting the inside walls. The instructions never said to remove the box door from the outer shell. Oops. That was silly. Now it's time for me to fight my way into this pot of paint. Something must be wrong with me. You sat that thinner down. My first thought was hydration is important. Don't drink paint thinner. And in fact, that's really, really dirty white spirit in that bottle. So, yeah. Don't drink that. The problem is, I only realised after cutting out the glazing for the internal wall with the door on it. Ah. Never trust instructions 100%, no matter how good they are. They aren't always reliable. Well, you can trust the instructions for these kits, because right now, as things stand, you're watching them. Probably more user error. Now, I blame the instruction writer. They should have said to take the door out in the instructions to do the bit on the inside. It's not an obvious thing to assume. There you go, Tom. Nice shiny brass dome. There we are, that's better. I love how that shines. Now to add a little bit more gold to my dirty white spirit. So good. The instructions definitely don't say to cut out the external shell, just a photo of it missing. Grey card on a grey background. I wonder why I missed that. Yeah, can't imagine how you missed that at all. I'm going to refill the hydration vessel whilst you continue to always believe in your soul. Because it's liquid gold. Gold. Always believe in the pan. And remember that hydration is important. I suppose whilst we wait for everything else to dry, we should put this back together. I think I want to put these on the front ones first. Instructions unclear, got head stuck in microwave. Is that what is that what you're trying to insinuate, Thomas? No, head isn't stuck in the microwave. Just left the fork in by accident. What, in your head? Shouldn't be putting forks in your head. That, again. Instructions unclear, fork stuck in head. No, the microwave. Ah. I prefer my option. Okay, caught the mute button in time there. Got to manage it occasionally, eh? There's 1, 2, done. And there. I don't. It sounds painful. At least if the fork's in the microwave, you get a light show from it. It sounds dangerous though. Someone could get hurt. Gary, I'm actually back now. Hi, actually back now. I'm Gary. You've missed all the fun with what was your P class. Look, it's here now. Let's get back to that later. That's good. I think so. And the bits of the chassis that need modifying for that kit were surprisingly simple. Has magically become a Peckett. It has. Peckett is better. I don't know about that. You're on thin ice there, John. When I grow up, I want to be a Peckett. Oh, you can be whatever you want to be. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The first problem is that you have to grow up. Hope you're not screwing that up, mate. Very good. Hello, James. How are you? Conrad. Yeah, exactly, Sophia. Exactly. I'm actually going to take these off now because it's sat with these on the whole time I've had it, and it's been the only thing in my display case with tension locks on it. I am very well, thank you. Even better now that I've got this to this stage. It's looking rather good, isn't it? But it's time for that most dreaded of colours that everyone hates and no one ever wants to use. That's right, it's red. Good job he's gone to bed. This Humbrol one I find is actually one of the best for coverage. But reds in general, not great for coverage. Especially if you want to maintain details. I'd worry more about how much I'm spreading this where I don't want it, if it wasn't for the fact it's going to go completely invisible. I find yellows, orange and red have not great coverage, especially... Yeah, yellows are terrible, whites as well. I am yet to find a white paint that I like. Will that red dry darker because it looks slightly too light, I think. Let me compare how it is on. So it is slightly darker in reality than it appears on screen. But it will need quite a few coats before you actually get its real colour out of it. It's certainly a lot darker than it looks on there on screen. But so we definitely have a Loco now. Looking a lot more Loco-y. Looks too orange, I think. Yeah, it's not very orange in real life. It's a scarlet. Not a vermilion like it should be. I have a vermilion. It's very similar. Let me clean my brush. Where did you get the Burrows tank from? So the Burrows tank, in fact, and the packet are from me. That Burrows tank specifically came from just there. They are available to purchase. The kits are £35 each. And good evening, Christopher. How are you? I hope you are well at 35, not 20. 35. And then it just needs a Hornby or Dapole Lancashire and Yorkshire Pug chassis. This is a Hornby one under here in this case. Oh, good. Glad to hear you're okay. Wait, your own engine cabs, Gary? No, they are by Tom, but I am selling them for him. Cheers, be in contact at some point. Awesome. I've got a dozen or so of these printed. This is currently the only one of these. Hydration is important. Is that an X or an X2? It is an X. As per the ones that the Metropolitan Railway had. 100 and 101. I'm not sure how much difference there was between an X and an X2, but it's a slightly more expensive build because it goes on the Patton's P-Class chassis. Yes, it is bad that you think that, because there's not the space for it. No, it wouldn't. Thought the Met ones were X2. Maybe. Pretty sure this is an X though. Tom, are you still around? But yeah, this is an X rather than an X2. X type for Met. Thank you, Gary. For Roy's tank, I think he's high level chassis rather than the Pug. That's fair, but does the high level chassis not have motor here? You're right, it is more discreet and it's a better chassis in general. As a demo of the kit, I'm using the one it was designed for. And part of the point of these is to be simple. There will be some more things adding to the range in hopefully the not too distant future that people will find very exciting, I think. Wrong on the numbers, 101 and 102. Ah. Paint's gone on well. Was it all with a brush? It was indeed all with a brush. I need to get my ventilation sorted so that we can start spray painting. But I do this rather a lot, so I've got quite good at brush painting. And so, with some silver buffers, we are pretty much entirely there for paint. Finless is the secret, I guess. No, that's not even been finned, actually. The only thing I've done is had lots of practice. These are all enamel paint straight out the pot. Other than the two metals, which are, I believe, technically an acrylic. but they're actually leaves, so they're tiny bits of metal in a solution. The solution evaporates off. I don't want to put that away yet. I want to go like that, and there we go. Have to mess it up occasionally. I've run out. And there we are. I've actually got a couple more bits of gold to do on it. Very therapeutic modelling while watching someone else do it. I wouldn't know, I don't get the joy of that these days. I get caught up either doing all my own modelling or doing other people's modelling for them. I've got a couple of commission builds sat next to me now, actually. There we go. Have you got a layout that you film? Sometimes we play with one of the layouts on the live stream. I've actually got 7 layouts. I know, it's quite greedy of me. One of them is designed that it fits on the workbench. And we have play sessions on the live streams, and people join in and dictate moves. There should be a playlist for each layout on the channel. And I've gone over I've not done much in the way of running. There is some running videos, but it's mostly updates to work I'm doing on the layouts and stuff rather than running. But yeah, we very much do play with the layout and do running sessions on live stream sometimes. There was potentially going to be that tonight, but luckily Royal Mail were very good and delivered the chassis for this. I'll tell you what, Gary, if you ever own a pub and you had all your layouts in there, you could call it the scaling. Yeah, but I'm never going to own a pub, is the simple answer to that. And if I did, I'd probably leave it with its existing name. I'll have a look later. Thanks. Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Once again, hydration is important. So I do not have the right colour paint for this. Again, wasn't sure it was happening. This is as far as we can really get it. It's 20 minutes our normal ending time, but I think we're going to end it here, honestly. There we go. I need to get my white screen back that I can put behind these, but it broke. It's not going to stay focused, is it? What can I put behind them? Will a sheet of plastic card do? It doesn't really seem to have helped quite as much as I wanted. I wanted the Burrows tank to stand out a bit more. So I am very happy with how that's turned out. And so both these kits are available to purchase along with several other bits. Yes, Gary, you should definitely get a Burrows tank and put it in IEG. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, there's several other kits available of rolling stock. There's Southeastern Chatham coaches, there's Brighton and Southeastern wagons. You could say it borrows the livery. Oh dear. Groan. But yeah, so all that stuff can be ordered now. Contact me, Twitter, Twitter at Oak Hill Railway, Blue Lightning on RM Web. Join my Discord and contact me there because I don't know what my Discord username thing is. Any of the other social medias that are down there, oakhillmodelrailway.co.uk to get to my email, go through my shop, traintimesmodelshop.co.uk, because of course I own a model shop. How cool is that? Do all those wonderful things. Get in touch. Order these before I get a website finished for them. I aim to have a website for the kit range done by the end of the month. Don't hold me to it. But in the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I've had an absolutely fantastic time. I hope you have too. I've been Gary. This has been Let's Build, and you've been awesome as always. Good night.